Rata and Co. I'm joined here today by some of my award-winning team in blue. Should you require their advice, please feel free to approach either Michael. Harry's floating around here somewhere, and another Michael. We've got Lucas, Alex Dukas, and of course Christina and Ioannou, who no doubt you've had the great pleasure of meeting throughout the marketing campaign. Buyers, let me share with you the following announcements, which are in place to be bidden by with absolute confidence here today. The auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules and any additional conditions that were made available for inspection before the start of the auction. The auction rules prohibit an auctioneer from accepting bids or offers for a property after the property has been knocked down to the successful bidder. The vendors have a reserve price as the auctioneer will indicate bidders on request. The law prohibits false bids, prohibits major disruptions by bidders, and prohibits bidders attempting to prevent others from bidding, and provides for fines for such conduct. The rules permit for vendor bids. The words I'll use during the auction to indicate that I'm making a bid on behalf of the vendor are vendor bid, and by law only I, as the auctioneer, can make a vendor bid. The contract of sale has been on display prior to today's auction. We call for 10% deposit upon the fall of the hammer and the signing of that contract here today, with the balance to be paid at settlement in 30 to 90 days time, at which time the vendor will provide the lucky buyer with vacant possession of the property. All in all, quite a straightforward contract. Everything is in here. Everything is quite clear. Buyers, is with my highest recommendation what we offer for your consideration and competition here today. Here at number 6 Gladstone, a great pocket in Reservoir, close to absolutely everything that you need, not only for a great lifestyle, but to secure significant capital growth, easy access to a number of shopping options, not the least of which is Edward Street, Broadway shopping, High Street shopping, Preston Market, easy access to a plethora of parkland in the surrounding streets, and only a stone's throw away to Reservoir and Ruthven stations, providing simple access into the city. The home itself, much loved, much cared for, full of charm, full of character, a great opportunity perhaps for a first home buyer, a great opportunity for you and your family today to bid, buy, to get the sold sticker up on the board. If that is your goal here today, buyers, right now is your opportunity to secure that. Right, where can I see a fair and reasonable starting bid for number 6 Gladstone? Who'd like to start us off? I don't mind the call, buyers. I'm in your hands. Start me where you like. Always takes a brave soul to start an auction. Throw your hands up in the air, especially in an intimate setting like we find ourselves here today. You've got the opportunity to mark your territory, to stake your claim, buyers, to get ahead of the competition and show the competition that the keys in fact belong to you. You've got that chance now, buyers. I don't mind the call. I'm in your hands. Who'd like to start us off? I'll get us rolling with a nice easy start of a vendor bid at 900,000, and we'll go from there at 9. At 900 the bid. At 900,000, bottom of the range at 9. At 900,000, if you can I say 20, sir? Yeah. At 920 now, welcome and best of luck at 920. At 920 the bid. At 920,000, bids here. Competitions here, opportunity with you all at $920,000 I have. At 920,000 now, make it 40. I'm looking for 40. At 920,000, fairly been offered now, got to be 20 on top. At 920,000, once at 920,000 are we done? At 920,000 for the second call, at 920 the bid. At 40, at 940 now. At 940,000, interstate at 940. I've got 940 already. At 940,000, I'm asking for 60. Got to be quick, got to be decisive if you want to buy it. At 940,000, fairly been offered against your bid, sir. At 940,000. At 940,000, bids there on the phone with Christina, interstate at 940 now. At 940,000. At 940 the bid, once at 940. At 940,000 for the second call at 940. At 960. At 60 now, and welcome back at 60. At 960,000, let them know they can't buy with one bid. At 960, not today. At 960,000, and the bid's back here at 60. At 960,000 and 80 the call. At 960 the bid. At 960,000, fairly been offered now at 60 the bid. At 960,000, once at 960, done. At 960,000, second call at 960 the bid, done. Finished. At 960,000 for the third and final call at 960,000. All done, all finished, silent, out at 960,000. Bids here. Is there still interest over there, Alex, at 960,000? George on the phone now at 960,000. Fairly been offered. Bids here. Opportunity with everybody else. What was that? Sorry, George? 80. At 80 now at 980,000. Welcome them back at 80. At 980,000 now, fairly been offered at 980. At 980, we me off to a million, so it sounds so good. At 980,000. At 980,000, fairly been offered now at 980. Can I say the cool mill? At 900, I've got the whole Dr. Evil thing I can do for you. At 980,000. Bids there on the phone against you at 80. First call at 980,000. We're done. Second call at 900. At $1 million, and we got there in the end at $1 million. At $1 million, the bid's back here at $1 million. Same courtesy there, George at 20 again if they like it, $1 million. Bids here in the room at $1 mil. At $1 million, fairly been offered. Even money at $1 mil. At $1 million now on the nose. First call at $1 million done. At $1 million for the second call at $1 million done. Finished. Third.
Take 1,000.
I'll take 5 if it helps. I'm happy to shorten my stride. I've been taking 20 this whole time at $1 million. The bids here, forget at 5 and why not $1 million and 5 and 5 from the mill at $1 million and 5. So the best response to a small bid's a big one at 5,000 on the mill and the bids there $1 million and 5. At $5,000 on the mill now at 1,005 at 10.05. At $1 million and 5,000 fairly been offered once at 10 now, sir.
Yep.
$1 million and
sorry, 5. Sorry.
$1 million and 10.
Yeah,
$1 million and 10 now. $1 million and 10 at $1 million and 10,000. At $1 million and 10,000. Bid back here in the room at $1 million and 10. At $1 million and 10. Yeah, 5 still good with me. You've got it. At $1 million and 10,000. At $1 million and 10,000 and 15 now. $1 million and 15. 10 1 5. At 1 0 and 120 now. At $1 million and 20,000. At $1 million and 20,000. George, are we selling at $1 million and 20? At $1 million and 20. Can you seek instructions for me, please? At $1 million and 20,000. At 20 and 25 now to $1 million and 1 quarter. At 1,025 the bid. At 1,025 000 and 30. At 1 million and 30 now. At 1,030 now. At $1 million, we're on the market and we sell here today to $1 million and 30. You've got the keys as it stands. At 1 million 30,000, make absolutely no mistake. We are selling here today. So if you've come to buy, you must show me now at 1 million and 30 or miss out. At 1 million and 30, 35. At 1 million. At 35, at 1 million 35, just lost I had a frog in my throat there, Al. At 1 million 35,000. So you've worked so hard to put yourself in this position. Surely you're going to walk away with the keys. At 1 million and 40 now. At 1 million and 40, and welcome back, keys back with you at 1,040. At 1 million and 40, at 1040 now, at 1 million and 40,000, and we sell if there's no better bid. At 1 million and 40,000 once. At 1 million and 40 at 45. At 1 million and 45 and 1 million and 1/2. At 1 million and 50. At 1 million and 50 now at 1,050 the bid at 50 on the mill. At 50 on the mill on the bids here, the keys are here, we're selling at 1 million and 50. If you've come to buy, show me now. $1,050,000 the bid. Once at 1,050,000 are we done?
51.
At 51, why not? I'll take the 1. At 55 and a great response. At 1,055, I always say the best response to a small bid is a big one. At 1,055, and the bids here. The keys rest here for now. At 1,055 at 10.55 the bid. At 1,055,000 we sell once at 1,055. Second call
56.
At 56. At 1,056 now. At 1,056 the bid. At 1,056,000 and the bid's back here. Can I say 60 now? Surely got to be 60. At 1,056,000 fairly been offered once at 1,056,000 done.
60.
At 60 now. Coming back always with strength. At 1,060. At 1,060,000 now. At 1,060,000 and the bid's back here. 1,060. We're on the market. We're selling. I'm not seeking instructions. George has done that for me. At 1,060,000 we're on the market and selling. At 1,060,000. Let me be clear. There's no second chances here today. At 1,060,000 bids here for the first call at 1,060,000 done. Second call at 1,060,000 done and finished. Third final call 1,060 the bid.
61. 61.
At 61, at $1,061,000.
62.
At 62, at $1,062,000. Broke him down to ones at 1,062 the bid. At $1,062,000. At $1,062,000. Keys back here. Opportunity still with you. Won't be for long. At $1,062,000 once. At $1,062,000.
$1,064,000.
At $1,064,000 and 5. At 1,065. At $1,065,000 now. At 1,065 the bid. At $1,065,000 fairly bidden offered now. 1,065 the bid. At $1,065 eyeing off the competition. At $1,065 for the first call. At $1,065,000 done. Second call at $1,065 done and finished. Third final call, $1,065,000 all done, all finished, all silent and out. Haven't checked in a while, George. Are we done there on the phone? Thank them for their bidding. At $1,065,000. Bids here, keys are here. We're selling
68.
at 68. At $1,068,000 now.
169.
At 169, at $1,069,000. At 1,069 the bid. At $1,069,000. They're saying no now, sir. You might have done enough.
Yeah.
At $1,069,000, fairly been offered. We are on the market. We sell. First call at $1,069,000 all done. Second call 1,069 the bid done. Finished. Third final call $1,069,000 all done, all finished, all silent and out at $1,069,000. Need to know we definitely done. At $1,069,000 bids here, keys are here. If you're done, I'll sell. At $1,069,000, need to beat decisive if you want to buy. Was that a bid? That was a bid. I thought that was a bid. I mean, he's taking you to 70. At 70 now. At $1,070,000. At $1,070,000. Bid back there now at $1,070,000 now. So you saw the hesitation there. Now's the time to pounce. Now's the time for a big bid, a statement bid, a knockout bid at $1,072,000. At $1,072,000 now. At $72,000 on the mill. Back against you at $1,072,000. At $1,072,000. At $1,072,000 now. At $1,072,000. Bid there. Keys are there. We're definitely done now. At $1,072,000 once at $1,072 done, twice at $1,072 done and finished. Third final call $1,072,000 all done, all finished, all silent and out at $1,072,000. Alex, can I confirm that that's it over there?
That's it. Yep.
Definitely done. Thank you very much for your bidding here today at $1,072,000. Bids here, keys are here. First, second, third, final call or done, finished, silent out at $1,072,000. We are selling. So, congratulations and well bid. Please join me in congratulating our purchasers and our vendors here today. You've just witnessed another successful Harcourts Rata & Co auction. Have a great weekend. See you again soon. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Very well done. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, mate. Well done. Thank you.
Congratulations.